A quick video here about the House assault weapons ban that was recently passed by the House to give people kind of an idea, if you haven't read the actual bill, what it does and what it doesn't do and what it means. And so I'm just sitting here laying in my hotel room bed and thought I'd make this quick video because I just got done reading the law. Essentially, what they've done is they've created a pretend law because it's a law that is unconstitutional on its face. Therefore, it means nothing. So the House passed this bill. It hasn't been passed by the Senate. It hasn't been signed by the president. So it's not a law. It's just a floating ghost bill, we can call it. You know, if they want to talk about ghost guns, we'll talk about ghost bills. Because any bill that has no effect under the Constitution is just a ghost anyway. It doesn't exist. It's just there. But here's what it does. It essentially bans guns based on what they look like. The bill bans all AR type firearms, and it lists several hundred AR and AK type firearms specifically by name and manufacturer. But then it also says if it's any rifle that takes a detachable magazine and has one or more of the following characteristics, makes it an assault weapon. Just having a pistol grip makes it an assault weapon. Just having a quote unquote barrel shroud makes it an assault weapon. Just having a collapsible stock makes it an assault weapon. Just having a threaded barrel makes it an assault weapon. As long as it's got a detachable magazine and one of those things, and there's a few others also, a foregrip. You know, you can have the exact same rifle, right? But then you attach a Picatinny foregrip on it, assault weapon. Remove it, not assault weapon. Put it on, assault weapon. Take it off, not assault weapon. Did that change the way it could fire? No. Did it change the rate of fire? No. Did it change what it fires? No. You literally put on a foregrip, assault weapon, take off foregrip, not assault weapon under the current language. Now, here's what's really kind of dangerous about it is it also says that any accessory or part or component that can be used to increase the rate of fire is an assault weapon. Not the gun itself, the accessory. So, for example, if you put a red dot scope on your rifle because it helps you to acquire your target more quickly and fire more quickly, accurately on target, your red dot scope is now, under this law, is now an assault weapon. Just the scope itself, because it helps you increase the rate of fire. If you get a 3-pound trigger versus a 6-pound trigger for your firearm, the trigger itself, even if it hasn't been installed onto your firearm, that trigger itself is now, quote unquote, an assault weapon and is banned under the law. Anything that you buy that you want to put into your rifle or your pistol, because this includes pistols as well, there's a such thing as assault pistols under this law, that will increase the rate of fire is going to be illegal. If you wear shooting gloves because, you know, it's quicker and easier to shoot, there you go. Your gloves are now considered an assault weapon. If you ask your brother to shoot the gun for you because he can shoot the gun faster, your brother is now an assault weapon, because anything that can be used to increase the rate of fire. If you're a right-handed shooter, since you can shoot faster with your right hand has now become an assault weapon because it increases the rate of fire on a semi-automatic firearm. So the bill is very dangerous in that it pretty much tries to encapsulate almost everything as what is called an assault weapon. If you have several parts that can come together to form a weapon, then this is now all those little parts are considered, quote, assault weapons. Now, here's the other thing that it does. It doesn't just attack assault weapons. It attacks magazines. So any magazine that holds more than 15 rounds is banned under what was passed by the House. Keep in mind, it still has not been passed by the Senate. It is not law. And if it becomes law, any law that is repulsive to the Constitution is null and void according to the Supreme Court. Therefore, so even if it becomes law, it's not law. But any weapon that can take a magazine that holds more than 15 rounds. A lot of Glock pistols are going to become assault weapons. Pretty much anything but a 1911, unless you got a double stack 1911. So pretty much any pistol that takes that's a double stack that takes 9 mil, 380, some 40 caliber. If it can just take a 15 round or more magazine, now that pistol is illegal because it can take a magazine. Any magazine that's large enough to hold 15 rounds, even if it can only hold 10, but you can do something to it to make it take 15, creates an illegal, quote unquote, large capacity magazine. So, a couple things to consider here. Number one is that this bill is not law. It also does not apply once the bill becomes law. Let's just say it does. Let's say it's passed tomorrow. President Biden signs it tomorrow. And suddenly the utopian world of the Democrats that they think will come from banning these weapons comes into existence. Any of those weapons, the tens of millions of these firearms already in existence in the world are supposedly grandfathered. So, yeah, don't worry about it. No, nothing's going to happen. Once they do the assault weapons ban, it's all things going to be hunky dory. Of course, there's never going to be another school shooting because, all those millions of guns. So, what this is going to lead to, since it's not going to do anything to solve so-called gun violence, they're going to have to start a registration next. Okay, well now, we grandfathered in all these weapons. We're not saying we're going to take them from you. You're allowed to have them, but you have to register them. If you don't register them, now you're a felon. And of course, then it's going to be like, okay, now we're going to go. We still haven't solved so-called gun violence. And so now all those registered guns, you're going to have to, we're going to do a mandatory buyback. Oh, okay. So we still haven't solved gun violence, and some people didn't go to the mandatory gun buyback, so they're just going to go to confiscation. We know how all this works. We know how all this goes. Just so you know, if this ever is passed into law, Open Carry Texas will hold a massive, massive rally encouraging everyone to carry their newly banned firearms. Now, keep in mind, here's what happens. Even if you have one of these guns that are going to be so-called banned, again, they're not banned because it's an unconstitutional law, especially under the Bruin case. If you have one of these and it's grandfathered, you can't give it to anybody. You can't sell it. You can't transfer it. You can't give it away. You have to keep it for the rest of your life or essentially turn it in because you can no longer transfer that firearm. You can no longer possess that firearm or anyone else after the date of the bill. So I think what Open Carry Texas might also do at our big giant rally with our big giant mean scary guns is we will all just look to the guy next to us and transfer these guns to them and make them do something about it. And then we'll challenge it in court and we'll fight them and we'll win. And Open Carry Texas will fight anyone trying to take away our guns and our gun rights. But that's what the bill essentially does. You can read all of it. It's boring as hell. It essentially bans guns based on particular types, particular manufacturers. And oh, by the way, though, here's good news. The bill specifically only bans AR-10s and AR-15s. So all you've got to do is just get yourself an AR-20, or just make your gun into an AR-20, and you're good because AR-20s aren't mentioned anywhere in the bill. Neither are AR-5s, AR-16s. They're not mentioned in the bill. AR-17s, AR-11s, AR-492s. None of those other ARs. Only AR-10s and AR-15s are specifically banned. So all of my AR-20s that I have are perfectly fine. You ask, what is an AR-20? Well, it's a gun that used to be identified as an AR-15 or an AR-10, but now they all identify as AR-20s. So all of mine are good regardless. And your AR-10s and AR-15s, I guess if you just identify them as an AR-20, because that's the law doesn't say anything about AR-20. So your AR-20s are safe. Your AR-25s are safe. Your AR-4692s are safe. Just make sure that you aren't buying or selling an AR-10 or an AR-15, and you should be fine. you should be fine anyway because the law is unconstitutional. But just know, Open Carry Texas and I will fight any bill in Texas that bans any firearms, and we will challenge this all the way up to the Supreme Court. But I also have faith that this is not going to get signed into law. This is not going to pass by the Senate. I really don't see this happening at all. The last time Democrats passed an assault weapons ban, they lost monumentally for many years in Congress, and it's going to happen again. So I don't think they care that they're going to lose, but I just don't think that the Senate is going to pass this bill. So it's largely just all talk. So that's what I'm doing is I'm just talking because I know that this bill is likely not going to be law. And if it becomes so-called law, it's unconstitutional law, which means it's really not law. You guys take care, be safe, and be free. And I'm going to take a nap. Maybe. I don't know.